Gavin Hunt, yes, the one, the super sport coach, who is also the guy who led Kaizer Chiefs to the CAF Champions League semi-final, has given us an insight of why he was fired, and he also brought up something that we talked about the vision of Kaizer Chiefs. He also talked about whether or not he would come back to Kaizer Chiefs and why that is the case. It's interesting. So let's get on with it. Hello and welcome to Kosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pelo, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Kosi Football Club. Right, Gavin Hunt. Remember, he took Kaizer Chiefs into the semi-finals of the CAF Champions League, and the problem is that he was not in the top 8. And that's where this whole thing starts, because there was one interview where Gavin Hunt talked about the fact that at Kaizer Chiefs, he looked at the group that we're in the Champions League in that year, 2019-2020, and was like, you know what? I fancy my chances, We could go all the way. He looked at that and he did think it was possible. And guess what? They did it. Goes to the the knockout stages. It's like, I fancy ourselves, And he was seeing that he could do something. But guess what? Kaizer Chiefs at that very moment were looking at him thinking, dude, you're outside of the top 8. While I'm out there in Peter Maritzburg during COVID and watching the games on Facebook thinking, oh my God, this could be our chance. This could be our chance to win a star. I'm sure you too played. You're watching and thinking, oh my days, we could actually win the star. We're going to win the star. And Kaizer Chiefs were not concerned about that. They were not thinking, oh, let's get a star. You know what they were thinking about, according to Gavin Hunt? He says that they said to him, get us top 8 finish. Yazi kunengoma ethi ang-understandi, how ang-understandi, namanje ngisamangeli. Are you telling me ukuthi thina we are trying to go all the way and get the star, and when your concern is getting top 8? I-top 8 izosenzelana. If we win the top 8, fine, we get 8 million rands. Oh, great. But if we win the star, then we end this thing. Yoguti Pirates have a star, Sundowns have a star. We don't have none of that. We enter the conversation of being one of the biggest clubs in African football. Yeah, I know Kaizer Chiefs is a bigger brand than Sundowns, blah. And men, Oksala, they're achieving more, and we're coming up with all these excuses and saying, they are buying things. Because thina swini, why get thina singayithengi izinto? Angithi sinemali yini ke singayithengi? Of course, I don't agree with that. But anyways, I'm saying this. If you have a chance of winning the CAF Champions League and having a star on top of your patch, well, not above your patch, not on top of it, above it, why not go all in for it? And if you see that Gavin Hunt is taking you there, why not continue with him? I don't get this thing, because even after they sacked Gavin Hunt, they then bring on Baxter, and then they take Baxter, they make him coach the final. But then after that, they fire Baxter after that season and put Zwane as the head coach. Where was that trust for Zwane a season before? They didn't trust him to win one game of the final of the Champions League, but they trusted him enough to take over this as the senior coach like 9 months later. It doesn't make sense now that I'm connecting these things as I'm talking about it. But at the end of the day, Lento le ila, and it's worrying me a lot. Gavin Hunt says, I fancy myself in the Champions League. The club wants top 8. And if I think about it, what has Kaizer Chiefs done to show that they're ambitious about getting in the CAF Champions League? You remember last year when we were chasing and we were left with few games and Zwane was coaching, the team didn't look like they were trying to even get the CAF Confederations Cup. It didn't look like it. And Chiefs has been having issues vele with CAF, and I know we're the club of the continent in 2001. I know. But how long ago have we accomplished something truly special in the continental stage? Because if we are not showing that we're ambitious about continental football, then it's going to reflect on what we're doing there. I didn't even care about continental football until I started caring about the the Champions League overseas. I'm like, oh, Liverpool is dominating Europe, or whoever is dominating Europe. Real Madrid was dominating Europe. Anyways, the point is, you look at that and you're like, I would like my team to dominate our continent. No, our team is not even ambitious enough to win to even go to the latter stages of the Champions League. Because what Gavin had actually said, I should have said this earlier. He said that they said, get us out of the group and get us top 8 finish. What? Like, get us out of the group. That's all you wanted. There's no ambition. There's no lentole that Tupito was saying about show me the vision, and then if our visions align, then I can come to your club. If our vision was not even aligning with Gavin Hunt, who has not even won the Champions League but was fencing his chances, remember this. Chiefs did not have any new player that was signed in that season, because once again, we were banned by FIFA for signing someone illegally. But still, the coach saw something. He saw that he could go deep in the competition and potentially win it. Now they brought on a coach. Baxter Futi, I will tell you, people always talk about sabotage. Baxter, when he was coaching Chiefs, he played a 3-4-3. And we always know that Baxter is a defensive coach. But in that final, for some reason, he played 4-3-3. When I looked at that starting 11, I was like, okay, we are attacking. But we've been defending the whole tournament. What is happening? So if there is anyone to be accused of sabotaging something, it would be him. Because yes, he would have won the Champions League, but the heavy work would have been done by Hunt and Zwane. And Yene was just there for the final. I'm just not going to push that agenda, but I'm going to put it out there. Because why would you change the system for the final while you've been defensive the whole time? Especially playing against a team as offensive as Al Ahly were and as strong and dominant as Al Ahly were. And then when you decide, let's play 4-3-3. Let's go toe to toe. Let's go pound for pound. Doesn't make any sense. And then they ask him, obviously, to subscribe to the channel. Got you there, didn't I? Subscribe to the channel. We want to get to 20,000 before Christmas. No, I don't ask for much, man. I don't ask for much. Christmas is that other week, and now we are like at 19,900. I'm just gonna make sure that I wrap it in until you subscribe. Yeah, so they ask him, would he come back to Kaizer Chiefs? Gavin Hunt, that is. And he says, yeah. It's funny because again, Peter said the same thing, that would you go to Kaizer Chiefs? Like, why not? They're a big institution. And Hunt said the same thing. They are big institution, blah, 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 all the good stuff about Chiefs. But he also said something very, very interesting. Because, Futi, let me read it. Although I know I paraphrased it. He said this, if you hire someone, just let them get on with it. Basically, translation, I even made sure that I wasn't reading too much things into that, because it says, if you hire someone, let them get on with it. So I copied that and pasted it on ChatGPT and say, what does this text imply? And then ChatGPT says, if you hire someone, let them do their job without interference. AI got it, so I guess I was right. It's weird. This is irrelevant to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's clear that the way that he spoke about Kaizer Chiefs, he's saying maybe they didn't like his mannerism, that's why they fired him. Maybe they didn't like him. But if you hire someone, you must let them get on with it. Which means you must hire someone and not interfere in the business, right? But turns out the club probably, and most likely, since he said that way, they probably did interfere. As we know, this is not a surprise. Kaizer Chiefs do tend to interfere with the things that the coaches are trying to do. So once again, it underlines this whole thing. Would Kaizer Chiefs, this is a question, do you think Kaizer Chiefs would hire Gavin Hunt? Hear me out. Why am I saying this? Because it looks like something that is highly unlikely to happen. Because it's clear that Gavin Hunt is not completely happy with Sundowns and SuperSport, the relationship that's there. I know it's been going on since it was there the first time around, but what is happening now is that Gavin Hunt has finished third with SuperSport last season, and he can take a game to Sundowns, can win, not take a game to Sundowns. Ngama counters arc. Do you think in Kaizer Chiefs' desperate attempt, they would go for Gavin Hunt? because they know that he's a proven winner and he can win something for Chiefs. And do you think that makes any sense? Personally, do you actually think Chiefs, if they announced in the end of the season and said, hey, Gavin is coming back, because this would not be the first time they did it with Baxter, they did it with Omshin, they did it with Etuk, they did it with Minton Torp. They've been doing it, bringing back coaches. So do you think they would do this with Baxter himself? Do you think, not Baxter, with Hunt, would they bring him back? What would you make of that if it happened? And I wanted to also say this. I just forgot what I wanted to say. I wanted to say, with Pizzo, as much as these things keep on coming up with him, that, oh, he said this about Chiefs, he said that about Chiefs, I don't think it would make sense given what also Uhant just said, Uguti, if you hire someone, don't interfere. Pizzo does not like people who interfere with his business. He just wants to coach, just wants to do things. And Uhant might probably hang around because, well, maybe because he did say that now that they've done a squad overhaul, things are much better. I mean, he did do okay with the squad that he had, and he hadn't signed anyone new. How much better would he do now being allowed to sign players? And also with this whole change of tune and direction that Chiefs have done. Personally, I would still say no. I would not like Gavin Hunt to coach Kaizer Chiefs. Not because he's a bad coach. I just think his style of play is not my kind of football. Because you have coaches like Jose Mourinho. I would put Hunt in that category. Not because he's the same as him. And Antonio Conte. They play their kind of football. It wins. It gets you results. But I would rather have a Pep, a Klopp, a Dizebi, that kind of a coach who will make the team be aggressive, play the ball, tear teams apart and go and score, rather than a coach who will say, let's sit back, hit them on a counter. I don't enjoy that kind of football. But that does not mean it's not football. It is football. It's just different from what I prefer. But what do you think? Do let me know down on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, remember, equals Alpelumo.